So we're in the kitchen again tonight, and we're going to bake some kind of Asian something or other. I have no idea what it is. We'll find out. This is what I got prepped for the veggies. Got some garlic, some ginger, onions, scallions, red cabbage, regular cabbage, red and yellow peppers, some leek, and some sliced spices, a little bit of coconut oil, amino acids, some cider vinegar, a few other things. So we're going to start to cook here in just a moment. Alright, I got some olive oil in here, and it's heating up, and the first thing we're going to add is our garlic. Throw that in there, start to swizzle that around. There we go, that looks good. It gets slightly toasted and aromatic. Then we're going to add our onions. Okay. Onions. Some shredded ginger. Break that up a little bit and let that start to saute. Put the last little bit of that ginger in there. We're going to let this cook. So what I've been doing is just tossing this around and starting to let those onions break apart. And here in a moment, I'm going to add our ground beef. I want to get those onions a little bit more translucent before we do that. So I'm going to let this cook for a few more minutes longer, and then I'll be back with you here before we add that ground beef. Oh, it's starting to smell so good already. I'm going to scrape the bottom a little bit, make sure that our garlic and our ginger doesn't stick. Oh yeah, oops, and catch straight onions. Oh, that's looking pretty good. A few more minutes, and then we'll add the beef. Okay, our onions and stuff are translucent, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to scoop all that stuff over here to the side. That'll let them start cooking, and reach over here and grab my ground beef. And what we're going to do is put all of that ground beef right here, just like that. Smash it down and get a good sear on that one side before we flip it. Alright, I'm just going to let that cook for a few minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's been like a couple minutes. I'm going to put some burger brown. That's what we're going to do, is take it and flip it, hopefully if I can get hold of it, and let it cook on the other side here. In the meantime, we're going to add our chili powder, some black pepper, and a touch of sugar. Just a tiny bit. We'll let that cook a little bit longer and then start breaking up the meat. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I'm going to start breaking up that ground beef now. See, it's mostly cooked through. Get that incorporated with our onions and all of our good seasoning. Oh yeah, that's starting to smell really yummy. Okay, I think we've got that broken up into small enough chunks now, so it'll cook evenly. Next thing we're going to add is our leek and our peppers. There's some red. And there's some yellow. I'm going to stir those in and let those cook just a little bit. Oh, that's looking good. Oh, that is looking good, and it's smelling wonderful. Okay, we'll let that just cook for a few minutes or so until the vegetables just start to get tender. Now we're going to add our scallions. And our carrots, which I have pre-cooked in the microwave just a little bit, so they'll be a little bit more tender and cook faster. We'll stir that in and let that cook a bit more. Oops, I'm losing stuff. Be right back. So I got everything all stirred in here, and I'm going to put the lid on it for just a couple minutes and let it help to steam those peppers. So, get my big lid out and let it steam for about, maybe 2 minutes. Alrighty, it's been about 2 minutes. Let everything steam a little bit. Because all we want to do is just start getting all those vegetables tender. Not to lose its texture though. Alright, so I'm going to flatten that out a little bit. I'm going to add our 2 different kinds of cabbage. This is Napa Cabbage. And this is just a shredded Red Cabbage. And we're going to have a big full pot. Oh my. Okay. This might be interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the lid on this for just a minute or two and allow that cabbage to start to steam. And hopefully it'll wilt down in the pan. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Well, it has shrunk a little bit. So I'm going to try to gently just fold that in underneath some of those other veggies. And see if I can do this without making a big mess. And get it all cooking. Oh, this looks so good. Of course, if you're not a big veggie fan, you're going to say, oh my gosh, there's too many vegetables in there. But all those pretty colors. Those are good for you. Alright, just about got it all down in there. A little bit more over here. And then we're going to put the lid back on that thing and let that cook down about 5 minutes or more, depending on how things go with those cabbage on its wilting. So just fold that down in there a little bit more over here on the sides. Put a lid on that puppy and let her cook a bit longer. Alright. See you in a bit. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. And I've taken the lid off once just to stir stuff around a little bit more. And our cabbage is getting wilted, which is what we want. Everything is cooking well. So now is about time to add our soy sauce, which actually this is a coconut liquid amino, which is a lot less salt than the other type of soy sauces. Of course, you can use what you wish. I'm going to stir this in a little bit, cover it back up again for another minute or two, and then we'll just finish this off. Oh, golly, that is smelling so good. Oh my goodness, that is smelling so good. Okay, I'm going to start getting plates out. Be back in a minute. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, baby. That looks good. To give that a little stir. It's smelling really good too. Oh yeah. Okay, so turn the heat off. I'm going to take a little bit of apple cider vinegar. This is with the mother in it, that's why it's not clear. But I'm going to drizzle this on top, stir it in, and get ready to serve. Okay, it's done. This is what it looks like there on the fork. It's give it a taste and see what we need to add. That's nice. And the veggies are not too overly done. They still have a smighty bit of crunch, which is great. So I'm going to get the plates out and we're going to have dinner. Be blessed. Having a good evening.